Welcome back, everybody, to 31 2000s horror movies from Halloween, where I'm counting down my favorite horror movies from the year 2000 to 2009. At the number 9 spot, we have one of the most notorious horror movies from the 2000s. This is one that is talked about more. I put it up there with the likes of Saw and stuff like that. It's not a torture film, but I do think it's about as notorious as Saw. And that is, at the number 9 spot, The Descent. Another example of how there is an artistry to simplicity. Simple premise, played through perfectly. You have this group of women who are spelunking. They're exploring this cave. They end up getting trapped in the cave due to a rock slide, and they're trying to find their way out. And it happens that there is a group of monsters in this cave with them. Could not be a simpler premise. And like I said, I love simplicity, and I love when simplicity is executed well, and I do think that simplicity can sometimes make for scarier movies. There are exceptions, of course. I always say there are exceptions. I don't like to speak in absolutes when it comes to movies, but simplicity can work so well. I love the artistry of simplicity. This is a great film, and it's interesting because, again, you have these women exploring this cave. They get trapped in the cave, and they're trying to find their way out. You have the main character, Sarah, who suffers a tragedy at the beginning of the movie. Now she's getting back together with their friends, and they're going into this cave. And I know I'm not the only person to have said this, but it is true. This movie is terrifying before you even see the monsters. It does take a while to get to the creatures, which is the more traditional horror of the movie. I wouldn't necessarily call The Descent a slow burn, but it does take its time to get started, which I appreciate. I do like when a movie gives time to develop the characters, gets you into the situation, and then throws you into the action or the horror or the suspense of the film.
You all look like shit, now just give me a smile.
Hat, no hat.
No hat.
Good hat, no hat.
All right. Run.
For the beginning of this movie, it does a good job developing the characters and creating the dynamic between these characters, revealing the drama between some of the characters. Especially Sarah, because Sarah has just gone through this major tragedy. And of course, she's dealing with her psyche, so when she starts seeing things, we don't know if it's really happening or if, she's hallucinating due to her mental problems. And of course, you could hallucinate in this cave anyway because it's so goddamn claustrophobic. That's the horror in the first act of this movie, the claustrophobia. Like I said, many people have said that this movie is terrifying before the monsters even show up because of the claustrophobia, because of the fact you're trapped in this cage, or this cave. Sorry, it can feel like a cage. I don't know, I think I'd rather be trapped in a cage than in a cave, because then I can at least see daylight.
Hey, hold on! Guys! Hold on!
Now, people talk about claustrophobia, and this movie is a claustrophobic's nightmare, but I do think anybody can be claustrophobic in certain situations, just like everybody can be afraid of deep water or drowning in certain situations. Because in this cave, it's just, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm claustrophobic. I mean, with some of the videos I do on this channel, you can tell I'm not claustrophobic, but there's an element of claustrophobia when it seems like there's no way out. Claustrophobia mixed with a lot of darkness. The spaces in this cave are so goddamn cramped that I think even people who are not claustrophobic can suffer from claustrophobia in this movie. There are just so many like, especially at the beginning, there's that one scene where everybody's crawling through these rocks and it's all cramped and stuff. And there are so many moments where you just want these people to be able to stretch their arms out, but they can't. They're just stuck in this situation. And yeah, it can be... You have trouble breathing at times because the movie does such a good job at capturing claustrophobia in tight spaces that there are times where you hold your breath because you want them to get through these tight spaces, so you're kind of sucking in with the characters as they're squeezing through these spaces.
Okay, fuck the rope back. Okay, move! Now! Now!
But the situation is already intense. They're trapped in this cave. They don't know if there's another way out, but they're trying to find a way out. And then you throw the monsters into this movie, and it makes the situation even more desperate. And going back to the simplicity, it's not just simplicity in the plot, it's simplicity in the designs of the monsters. They're humanoid creatures, like these maybe Neanderthals or some form of humanoid beings that got trapped down in this cave, and they evolved to fit in the darkness. They're blind, they're albino, they are bat-like in appearance in their face, they got these pointy ears. The monsters are known as the crawlers in this movie, and it's a very simple design. Just these humanoid creatures with kind of bat-like subterranean features on them. It's when there's simplicity in a monster design, it can make it appealing and more frightening because there is a familiarity to the creatures. It's like, okay, we can see something like this existing. One of the best scenes in the movie is when our characters first meet the creatures.
Oh, fuck it! Hello! Please! Is there anybody there? Hello!
And what's so awesome about this is, I've heard this done in a few movies, but it was done here. The actresses in the movie hadn't seen the creatures beforehand, but they were kind of like around the set, but never really, in full view. So the actresses might get a quick glimpse of something, but not really be able to see it. And then when the creature was first revealed, that was like made as a surprise on set. So in that scene, when the characters first meet the creatures, those screams you hear from the actresses are real, and they actually ran off the set when they first saw it.
Hurry! Keep moving! Come on!
So yeah, The Descent. A simple movie, done very well, very suspenseful, and it's suspenseful even though we don't get to the monsters until later on in the film, and that is incredible. Claustrophobia and bloodthirsty monsters, a terrifying combination. But, yeah. The Descent, a fantastic monster movie. I think that this is a good movie to watch with friends. Not necessarily it'll be fun, but if you want to have a really good scary time, watch it with a group of friends, because it'll be fun watching them, scream and jump along with the film. So yeah, The Descent, I think this is a good group watch for Halloween.